Gerald Dunbar, Managing Director of Prova. Thank you for letting us come down and take a look at the car. Now, what's your history with the original company?
Going back many years, can I say now Paul Lawrenson is not involved in the company anymore.
Yeah.
I've known Paul for 30 odd years. He was doing the Countach cars.
Yes, I remember those, yeah.
I was always looking on the scene for cars and things, and I found an advert in Manchester, which I went down to Paul, put him in contact with Peter Jackson in Manchester. He went down to Venom Cars, and history was...
Yeah, because Venom were the ones that took the moulds off the original Countach, which started the whole correct, should we say, visually correct.
Yeah, because it came off, it's
yeah.
an exact copy of the real car. Then when the car was built, it was fully built, I saw it in Darwin. I got involved with sales. I sold the first car to Japan. That first demonstrator Peter Jackson and Paul built, I sold that to Japan, and I started advertising in America. And then Paul took over, and Peter, and I just left. I went in a different direction. Many years went by. Peter and Paul split up. Peter then came to me and said, "Would you like to go into working with Sienna Cars?" So me and Peter went with Sienna Cars.
Sienna was they took things a step further, didn't they? With double skin
doors, Alan Booth. We did a show in New York, in Boston. We flew over there with a car. We did a show there. Then the recession came, and basically we'd all stopped then.
Yeah.
And I think
that killed most
of it off. But every year since the late 90s, I've been in contact with Peter Jackson. Sadly, he passed away last year, and he did say to me he wanted to revamp the car and get it started. One of his wishes, and that's why one of the reasons we brought the car back out of hibernation and decided to run with it.
So it's a nice tribute to him that the car's back in production.
That's correct, yeah.
So how is the current Prova, has it moved on from the original car? It's obviously time has moved on, so has the kit
it has moved on
as well?
It's gone from an old box, square, heavy gauge chassis to a CAD designed tubular chassis with aluminium uprights front and rear. All the Cortina and the Lancia brakes have gone. We're running specially made aluminium rear uprights with 6-pot calipers and 4-pot calipers, same on the front. All the coilover shocks are now multiple pounds, really precision suspension, which is fully adjustable.
And you mentioned it. All the components are locally manufactured as well.
All the components are locally manufactured by an engineering company in Darwin. The chassis is made local, the bodies are made local, the interior is made local. The only foreign part in the car is probably the engine, which is the Audi, and the gearbox, and that is it. Everything else is UK built.
So you've moved on from, I mean, the original cars were Rover and Chevy engines. You're now concentrating on the Audis.
On the Audi V8 4.2, which is 450 brake horsepower standard, and with the ECU tweak, we are running about 502 brake horsepower from a standard engine, and a very light engine. And it's very low centre of gravity, so the engine can sit a lot lower than Rover V8. So it's coming in around 11. We've weighed our car in 1132 kilos, running 500 brake. You can do the math yourself.
So it's pretty rapid.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the customer's perspective. You know, to get a component package to build the car. Do you sell it as a complete package or broken down?
We sell fully built cars, or you'll sell a body chassis. So you get the tubular chassis and the body, which is 9,950. After that, everything else is on the website, and all the parts can be bought individually.
And you brought back Prova about 2 years ago.
That's about 2 years ago. Yeah.
And that was because of the well, I presume the value of
that is what Peter mentioned, that they're a lot better value now than they were when they were originally built. Cars now are around £350,000. I presume you're doing it yourself, you probably build the car for around £45,000 to £55,000.
So that's, and you've got something that you wouldn't be afraid to use every day, whereas a real Countach for
Exactly.
300,000.
Exactly, that's why we're getting customers with real cars who want a car they can use every day without having to worry about breaking down. It's reliable, economical, and parts are easily replaced.
Talking about parts, back in the day, people had to source real Lamborghini parts to be able to complete the car. Are you able to supply?
We manufacture 95% of the parts for the car now. Everything we manufacture, even down to the rear tail lights now. We're remanufacturing the rear tail lights.
And a few people have been contacting you with part-built replicas from other manufacturers as well.
That's great, yeah, people asking us, well, they started asking us, oh, did you ever get any part-built cars? And funny enough, some people have brought one and they want to upgrade and start again from scratch. So what we've done with a service to all the old Prova people to keep everybody happy is like, if we get an offer, we're going to put them on the website and then we can supply all the parts to finish them.
So you're actually facilitating putting person A in touch with person B, and all the components that they need that they couldn't source elsewhere, you're able to source so that they can actually finish their cars.
That is correct, yes.
And there's going to be the purist who's going to want a V12 option. Is that available?
Yeah, the engine bay is exactly the same as the original. It will fit as V12 engine in. People are coming along and wanting the BMW V12, which is fine if they want to fit that. It's the customer's preference, the customer's always right. The reason we don't, because the V12 is only 340 brake horsepower, very hard to get more brake horsepower out of it. It's a big heavy lump, where our V8 is a lot smaller, lighter, and it's producing 500 brake horsepower, so that's the way we go. If the customer wants a V8, a V12, it's fine. The V8 revs to 9,000 and it sounds absolutely fantastic.
Well, it is a classic engine in its own right, that Audi engine, isn't it?
It is.
So,
it is.
And you've already had some exports, so it's
we've done one for Japan. We've got one going to Norway, the UK, and lots of interest around the world. It's just getting the different countries have different criteria for IVA, so that's the only criteria.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for letting us come down and take a look at the car. I wish you every success. I mean, you're providing every schoolboy's dream. As a schoolboy in the 80s, I definitely had that poster. So thank you very much.
Well, they still have today.
It's either that or the tennis girl, isn't it, really?
Yeah.